The other day, you guys might have seen running around the internet that reports came out that Netflix, hot off the heels of not getting Warner Brothers, were interested in acquiring Lionsgate, which we all kind of know is up for sale if the right offer comes along. You know, they kind of sectioned themselves off of Stars to make both bigger targets for acquisition, and that's what they're interested in right now. Well, Netflix heard those reports, and according to this report in Deadline, Netflix is denying that they're looking to go ahead and buy a Lionsgate. The story says this: shares of Lionsgate surged 14% on Tuesday on merger chatter, then fell after hours as Netflix shot down speculation that it was eyeing the standalone studio. This is the quote: Netflix is not interested and is not pursuing Lionsgate, a spokesperson for the giant streamer said bluntly. So the first story, original story, Netflix is looking at buying Lionsgate. Lionsgate puts out a very simple, straightforward statement: we're not looking at buying Lionsgate. Now, it should be noted that some of the people behind the initial story are standing behind it. They're saying, I mean, that's great. Netflix can say that, but we know they say that they made overtures looking into it. But here, is Netflix saying no. So what's the truth? Who knows? Maybe they are. But here's what I think is the kernel of truth in all of it. I 100%, when I looked at all the data and I looked at all the facts and I asked myself, what would be in the greedy, filthy self-interests of Netflix? I came to truly believe they really wanted to get into the theatrical business by buying Warner Brothers because it was in their own greedy self-interests. I still believe they believe that and they want that. Now, some people might say to me, hey, John, that one executive at Netflix the other day said they're not going to look to work with directors who want to make their films theatrical.
Damn Lynn.
Sure. But that doesn't change anything from Netflix. Even if they acquired Warner Brothers, Netflix was still going to operate that way. But they were interested in getting a company that had built-in long, like decades-long established distribution models and infrastructure in place, all the logistics there. They were absolutely interested in doing that and keeping Netflix just the way it was. So I am still very much of the belief that Netflix very much wants to get into that business. Now, I had also heard, and I'm not the only one, there have been reports of this out there too, that Netflix has also then eyeballed Sony. But as I've told you guys for years, Sony is never going to be up for business. Like the new heads of the corporation, they're new. They've now been there for a lot of years. But when the new leadership came in at Sony, they were movie fanatics. Like that basically killed. They came in shortly after the whole email leak stuff that happened years and years and years ago. And there were some thoughts that Sony might sell off its movie division. But once this new leadership came in, it was like, we love movies. And their movie division is never going to go anywhere. Well, never say never, but it ain't going anywhere as of now. So when I first heard whispers that Netflix was looking at getting Lionsgate, to me it made sense because I do think they want to get a studio and I do think they want to be in it. But there were two obstacles to me. One is that I don't think Lionsgate is at the scale that Netflix would want to acquire. Lionsgate, despite having John Wick and despite having Hunger Games and despite just doing Michael, they are self-admittedly a smaller player. I love that studio. Like I love Lionsgate, but they are a smaller player. And I don't think they are the scale that Netflix would be looking at getting involved in as a player. That's problem number one. Problem number two to me is simply that I still believe when I look at all the pieces on the board, this is not insider information. This is me telling you my assessment. And I've thought this for a while, and I know a lot of you guys think this. Netflix absolutely believes Paramount's going to fail. They absolutely believe Paramount's going to fail. Now, whether that means fail in closing the deal to get Warner Brothers, which is, of course, there's the EU is now launching an investigation into the foreign money. We've got states now going to be launching a lawsuit to block it. I mean, so whether it's that, or even if the deal goes through, they believe with the mountain of crushing debt that company is going to have, combined with their lack of experience, they believe it's ultimately going to fail. And Netflix believes in 3 or 4 years, maybe even 2, we're going to be able to go in and buy Warner Brothers for less than we were going to buy it for now. And they're just going to sit back and bide their time. They've got all the time in the world and they got all the money in the world. So those two things, the lack of scale of Lionsgate and the fact that I believe Netflix still sees Warner Brothers as the prize, even if it means they have to wait just a couple of years to get it, that's why I kind of buy that they're not really looking at Lionsgate. Do I believe the reports that suggest that Netflix did make overtures in inquiring? I absolutely believe that. I 100% believe that they did. Whatever Netflix says, I believe they did. But I also believe they've got their bigger picture, their end game is to acquire a studio, get into the business on a much bigger scale, a scale likened unto a Warner Brothers scale or a Paramount scale if that becomes up for sale too at some point. Guys, we want to take a second and thank a sponsor of today's video, Hims. You know, one of the hardest things about trying to lose weight is just figuring out what actually works, because we've seen them all. There are a million trends, diets, and gimmicks out there, and honestly, it can get overwhelming. And that's why weight loss by Hims really stands out. Hims now offers access to an affordable range of FDA-approved GLP-1 medications, including the Wegovy pill at its lowest price ever and the Wegovy pen. With Wegovy at Hims, lose up to 20% or more of your body weight when combined with diet and exercise. It helps you regulate your appetite and eat less, so success is within reach. Plus, Wegovy is the first ever and only GLP-1 available in a pill for weight loss, so there are no needles needed. And the process is extremely convenient. Everything happens online. You connect with a licensed provider who determines if treatment is right for you, and if prescribed, your medication gets delivered right to your door. No insurance necessary. Ready to reach your goals? Visit hims.com/Campea to get a personalized, affordable plan that gets you. That's HIMS.com/Campea. hims.com/Campea. Based on advertised cash price for 30-day supply of medication only. Membership required, fee not included, and billed separately. Weight loss by Hims is not available in all 50 states. Wegovy is the registered trademark of Novo Nordisk A.S. To get started and learn more, including important safety information, Wegovy clinical study information, and restrictions, visit hims.com. So anyway, Rob, you heard the report, the initial report that Netflix was looking at Lionsgate. You heard Netflix's denial of it. Did ever a Netflix acquiring Lionsgate, what parts of that made sense to you? What parts of it didn't? What do you think is the overall play here for Netflix?
Well, I mean, I understand reading those articles, obviously acquiring, whether it was Twilight, whether it's John Wick, whether it's The Hunger Games, which has a new, obviously a new movie coming out, acquiring their large catalog of movies, but it's not that deep. It's not, Warner Brothers is a 100-year-old legacy. Lionsgate is not that. And to be honest, I write essays for Madam Vice President Lisa Stevenson, the lovely Madam Vice President Lisa Stevenson, and I don't want to lose
Vice President of Lionsgate.
Yes. Not of the United States.
Yes.
Of Lionsgate Limited.
I was wondering who the Vice President of the United States was.
No. And I love writing essays for her for the Lionsgate Limited website. It's fantastic. And I think Lionsgate is a great little company. I really do. But I don't think, if Netflix acquired Lionsgate, I don't think it would even exist anymore as a standalone studio unless they wanted to keep its distribution, because Lionsgate doesn't put out the volume of material and it doesn't own the volume of material that a Warner Brothers has. But maybe there's things I don't know, concerns I don't know, but it just doesn't seem like it's even comparable to what Warner Brothers is. So, but they do have those catalog titles and I can understand, but they can license them out too. Is there enough there for Netflix to want to buy?
Unless they're looking at the distribution wing of it. That's the only thing I can.
And that's the part where I said, I just don't know that they have the scale.
right.
Right.
that Netflix
Exactly.
on the distribution
And
level.
nothing
Because-
compared to Warner, even on distribution.
Yeah, because I agree with Jonathan there that, because you're right, Rob, there's not enough there content library wise. I don't think Netflix is interested in the content library. I mean, I think they were very interested in the content library of Warner Brothers. I think they're most interested in eyeing an acquisition would be for the built-in distribution logistics that are already there. That takes decades to establish. And it's just, I just don't think Lionsgate's got that scale. So anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? You guys saw the reports that Netflix was looking to buy Lionsgate. Netflix is now saying they aren't. Do you believe them? Do you believe the reports? What do you think the pros and the cons are here? Whatever you guys think, jump down into the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.